The one truth we don't accept today, over and above all else, is that abortion is murder. That's it. It is the killing of an innocent human life. And if people say otherwise, I say, just take a DNA from any child in the womb and it will come out to be human DNA, not potential human DNA. And only a human being can give human DNA. That is not religion, that's science. And it's not only speculative science, it's empirical. It's empirical evidence that the one in the womb is a living human being, innocent, has a total different DNA from the mother that carries it. We must get that right into our heads. Now, where is America today? No. It's not just at abortion in the womb. America has now arrived at legalized infanticide. You saw that this week with Governor Northam. What did he say? I'm going to quote it in case you missed it. I am going to quote him verbatim. When he was standing before them, he said, I can tell you exactly what would happen. The infant would be delivered. Hold on. The infant, not a fetus anymore. It is the infant. If I gave you an infant, who am I giving you? Do you know what I'm giving you? Not once did he say it. He said, the infant would be delivered. The infant would be kept comfortable. Infant again. And thirdly again he says, the infant would be resuscitated if that is what the mother and family desired. When do we desire to keep human life in terms of desires? And then, he goes on, and then a discussion would ensue between physicians and mother. A discussion about what, I ask you? A discussion about to determine whether we should murder an innocent human life or protect it. And what do they call this? What do they call it? There's two words that they call this. What do they call it? They call it comfort care. My dear people, this is not comfort care. Wrapping the child, putting it to the side, and then leave it there to either die of dehydration or actually to take the action of killing it. This is not comfort care. This is simply callous, reckless abandonment. That is what it is. I know what human care is. When Father Joe Peake was with cancer here some year or two ago and was suffering for 10 months, there was 20 parishioners here, and he had a terrible form of cancer. His flesh was rotting, his jaw was all gone, the bones of his arms were coming out. I had parishioners who used to come on a regular basis, on cycle. They would come every day. They would bathe his wounds, they would clean the wounds, they'd help him to bathe, They would bring him to the doctor. They would sit there with him, bring him a drink, bring him a meal, and they would take turns in rotation. They had it all set up. There would always be someone in the room there with him to let him know that he was never, never alone. Kathy Cova tells the story how one day she was there. She didn't know whether he was breathing or not. She thought he was dead and wondered, what will I do if he's dead? Maybe he's dead now. Maybe I should do something. And while she was thinking about that, he turned in the bed and she jumped. And he just said to her, don't worry, Kathy, I'm still here. You know, and they were there with him right to the very evening he died. He died on Sunday morning. They were there on that Saturday. And on that Saturday night, we had some people in, priests and family, and I have a video of it just hours before he died. That was comfort care. That's comfort care. This other thing is not comfort care. It's reckless abandonment and murder. That's what it is. And that is where we are in our society. Unfortunately, our bishops at times are not willing to speak out because of the sex scandal. My idea is you definitely should speak out. You made a mess of that. Don't make a double mess of things. Let us at least be on the record that at least we got something right. Let us learn from our mistakes that while we messed up one, we are not going to mess up twice. Two wrongs never make a right. They should be at the top of their voices screaming. And yet, they're totally intimidated, unfortunately. And Governor Cuomo, do you know what annoyed me more about that? It's not that Governor Cuomo signed the law, and that ticked me off to the last. But what annoyed me more than everything else was how the chamber stood up and gave a round of applause. Let me tell you, this is two things. It's both insanity and evil. America is at a crossroads. This is a great country. It is a fabulous country. It is the best country that we know of recorded in human history. No country has been so great in terms of protecting the rights and so on and so forth, of free speech, of being who we are. But we are now going down the road of insanity. That is what it is. And this road will destroy us. It will destroy us. Moral values are important. We have our elected officials talking about this is not our values, but no one determines what are our values. Murdering innocent people to 1 million a year is not one of our values of America. We still talk about the tragedy of 9/11, where almost 3,000 people were killed, innocent people. Do you know that every month, we have 2 9/11s? No, we have 4. 2 to 4. 70,000 people die of overdose opiates, and it's only getting a whimper across the country. 70,000. This week, by the time you and I meet here next week, 1,200 people will have died in our country from overdose opiates. Does that concern us? Human life is becoming expendable. And it's the only thing that we have going for us. They talk about deformities or challenges. Let me tell you, this summer I'm going to Ireland. I'm going to officiate at the wedding of one of my nieces. I have 22 nieces and nephews. I want to tell you that, you know. But this niece is the most popular of the lot. They all want to be around her. She's humorous. She's very good. Great personality. Out here to visit me and everything like that. But she was premature. By 3 months, 6 months, she was born. She was resuscitated 3 times. The doctors were saying to my brother, so we will do our best, we'll do her, and the pediatrician was fabulous. My brother says, do you think she's going to live? Well, he says, I'm in my middle 60s, and if I get this child to live, it'll be the first one I'm successful at. But he kept with her. And he told my brother about, you know, she could have brain damage, everything like that, her heart stopped. Brother said, doesn't matter, just good. She survived, get married, fabulous girl. And took up, went to college, decided to study, and is today devoting her life to working with children who are challenged mentally and physically. Fabulous. Fabulous. Look, there's more to us than the body. Whether a child is born with various challenges, it challenges us also. But while the body may be broken, we should remember the soul is perfect. And sooner or later, all of our bodies are going to be broken and in the dust. And we betray ourselves when we say, I know that person is in a better place, because in that statement we recognize we are more than the body. A person's life here on this world should not be determined by the condition of the body, but rather by the value of the soul. America is a great country. But at the moment, we're on the verge of both evil and going down the road of insanity. And should America go down that road, it will not only be a tragedy for our citizens here in this country, it will be a tragedy for the whole world. All right.